What's going on, geeks and geekettes? It's a very special edition of the Countdowns to the Geekcast. My name is Ted, aka Steady, and you know this guy over here to my right, the one and only David Lozano. What's going on, Dave?
What's up, man?
We have a fantastic, like I mentioned, special episode that we're doing here. We have not only somebody who is a part of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem movie that drops in just a month. How did that come by so fast? But he's also said leader of the Ninja Turtle group, Leonardo himself, Nicolas Cantu. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, y'all? Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. You are having like an insane year, and we're so happy for you. And then come to find out, like you're also from our part of town. You were
Exactly,
born
bro.
in
San
Austin,
Antonio.
but yeah, born and raised in San Antonio. So we got to ask, kind of, how did this all start for you? When did you or your parents kind of see this little, I don't know, spark in you that, maybe he wants to get into entertainment, he likes to perform in front of people? Did you kind of have a moment, or did they tell you when they kind of decided we're going to try this out and see if it works?
Yeah, I mean, it was really all me, and it was just being a hyperactive kid. I mean, honestly, I don't know what it is that really got me to where I am. It's a mystery, because you just kind of keep going. But I started when I was 7. I was born in Austin, but I was raised mainly in San Antonio, so I consider San Antonio my hometown. But I still love Austin. They're pretty close, they're cool, but I don't know. San
Absolutely.
Antonio is like it feels more chill. We got the Riverwalk, we've got stuff going on, but it's home to me, 100%. So yeah, I was like 7. I was just chilling in my house and I was watching movies. My dad was showing me a bunch of movies from back in his day, like The Last Starfighter, The Karate Kid, Lost Boys, like just all these 80s classics that he grew up loving. So that's where I guess I got into movies at first. And then through that, I was just like, I want to try this. And when you're 7, you're like, I could do anything. So there wasn't any thought of like, oh, but what if people make fun of me? Or, oh, what if it doesn't work out? Like I was 7.
So,
I
what's your
learned how to
favorite '80s
multiply like
movie?
yesterday. Favorite 80s movie of all time? Dude,
Oof.
that's a tough one. Because my dad, honestly, like The Last Starfighter, like that's kind of like a deep cut. I haven't talked to any other people my
Yeah.
age who have seen that movie. So I appreciate that he kind of got me into like that side of it. But like of all time, man, it's very hard to choose.
I
What's the
couldn't.
first one that jumped to your head?
The first one that jumped to my head, man, probably like Beverly Hills Cop. With,
Oh,
Okay, nice.
yeah, that was honestly like he was. We would go to my dad's house and he was like, "All right, this is where you can watch the rated R movies and you could play Mortal Kombat. Like this is the place to do it at." So that's what we were doing at my dad's house. And Beverly Hills Cop was just hilarious. I love that movie.
Nice.
And look at you now. And now it all paid off, right? Because you were totally invested in those things and now it's paying off. I love
Yeah,
it. I love that he showed you. So I kid you not, like for whatever reason, Lost Boys, that was kind of that was one of my jams too. I, for whatever reason, watched that way younger than I should have.
I think that was the case with me too.
Yeah, I
Like
was
my dad
probably
was the
around
one that
that
was
same
showing us those
age.
movies. What was the first movie you saw where like you were definitely too young to see it, and it like it showed, like it scared you, maybe you couldn't sleep? What was it?
For me,
It's
I think
it's
it was Gremlins.
Gremlins?
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
All right.
kind of want to say it's Lost Boys because I have memories like 6, 7 watching that movie, and I had no idea like how kind of, I don't know, rated R it was like till
Yeah,
much later.
honestly, there was a lot of stuff in that one. Mine was Jaws, man, which was so tragic because I had just gotten into sharks at that age. Like I was checking out books at the library. I could tell you shark facts, and my dad saw that and was like, "Oh, you'd love this movie about sharks," and I trusted him. And then it gets to Clint sliding down the boat, and at that point I'm in tears. I'm like, "Turn it off! Like it's too much." So yeah, that was mine.
Shout out to Dad for showing you the classics at an early
100%.
age. Looks like
Yeah.
it paid off. Looks like it paid off for sure. Let's get into some of your filmography, man, because like I mentioned, you've had quite a year. Let's start off with The Fablemans. You work with one of the most iconic, most well respected, legendary directors of all time. How excited were you to kind of get the call that you're going to be part of the Fablemans? And B, like, did you take anything in? Did you kind of pick up on anything that you really absorbed from being directed by Steven Spielberg?
Yeah, man, that's still crazy to think that that happened, and like just the fact that the movie came out and I got to see it. Oh man, what a privilege that was. But yeah, I remember where I was when I got the call. I had just wrapped on this Walking Dead spinoff that I was doing, so I get home and like within a few days, my agent calls me and it's like, "So Steven Spielberg wants you to play this character Hark in his movie," because I had auditioned for the movie I think back in May, and then I got the call in June. So I was super excited to get the call. I remember I was just like, "Oh my God, yeah, I'll do it." And they're like, "Wait, we haven't even told you like the contract." I'm like, "No, I'll do it. Like, I don't care what it is. That's Steven Spielberg." So yeah, I was just always super excited. And something that I learned from that set, I mean, I don't know if it was much. I don't know if there was much it was, because all it was like I'd be doing my thing and then Steven Spielberg would come up to me and be like, "Try it like this." And I'd be like, "You got it. That was Steven Spielberg. Oh my God. Wow." And I just get hung up on that. But he's I mean, dude, he's a legend. He's a monolith in film. I just told you that story about Jaws. I like wrote him a letter about the effect that Jaws had on me at an early age. Like that guy he's provided so much to film culture, and he's a legend. And to be able to work with a movie with him, like, dude, it was a dream come true. It was awesome.
You brought up the Walking Dead spinoff, and me and David were talking before you had joined. We remember like the impact, the anticipation of like that first episode. It was kind of like nothing else before it, because it was just like the first of its kind. It was breaking barriers. It was something raw and brand new and refreshing. And now you're a part of that universe. What does it feel like getting into that world? I will tell you, I've been to Sonoy. I've done like my own personal Walking Dead tour. I've seen Alexandria. I've seen where
Oh, nice.
Woodbury was. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Was
dedicated,
it hot?
diehard.
When'd you go? Because it's like hot in Atlanta.
Dude, we went in August and it was like horrible.
Oh, you got the worst of it, man. Our show filmed in Richmond, Virginia, so we were a little bit up the coast. But yeah, I mean,
Sure.
joining the Walking Dead universe was so fun, man. I mean, it's a huge franchise, and I remember watching those first few episodes with my dad again, because that's where we watched all the violent stuff. But yeah, I watched the show when I was little, and I just got so into it. Carl was sick, and then all the characters, they're just so iconic now. And what I liked about it was what you were talking about, how the first few episodes had that like very cinematic feel. That was like, it's because they got the guy who did, I forget which, it's a famous zombie movie. I'm blanking on his name, but they had like a feature director direct their pilot and carry them through
Ah,
the whole first season. I can't
okay.
believe I'm forgetting his name. He made like, I don't know if it was like Dawn of the Dead. It was some crazy zombies movie. And
George
so they
Romero.
had George Romero, maybe that might be him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
George is like the most famous zombie director, so it probably was him.
Right. So they had him. I'm pretty sure. I wish I could remember the name of the zombie movie he did, because I feel like that's how I remember the fact. But anyways, I digress. I'm getting caught up on it. They had that feature director carry them through. And for The Walking Dead World Beyond, which was the spinoff that I did, we had Jordan Vogt Roberts direct our pilot, and he did that movie Kong Skull Island
Yeah.
and this movie called The Kings of Summer. So the fact that they were able to get these like feature film directors to work on a series, it was like it was so cool, man. They like crashed a plane in the middle of this town in Virginia. It was so sick. What a pleasure to be on that.
Wow, that's amazing. That's cool. Yeah, I love it. And it's one of those things where like the people involved on those shows, they're just such passionate people. Like nobody's on that set who's not like completely invested into it. So it's beautiful to kind of see like all those people come together and do those things. So congrats, man. You're part of the Walking Dead
Thank you,
universe.
dude. I appreciate it. Like going down this recap, like it's kind of crazy to know that like there's these franchises that start in whatever medium. Most of it's comics, honestly. Walking Dead
Yeah.
was a comic. I'm doing Ninja Turtles. That started with comics. Like everything started in that like very visual medium. But the fact that there's fans of that get to work on future iterations, it's what makes coming to these big franchises worthwhile, because there's people that really love them that are attached to them. So it's great to be a part of those like mega families.
Going to bring up the fact that it's so interesting that Steven Spielberg um, casted you, because it's almost like a throwback to E.T., because Henry Thomas was also from San Antonio, I believe.
Really?
You're
Yeah,
right.
so
You're right.
that's where he
Oh
maybe
wow.
thought, okay, young actor, young talented actor from San Antonio, lightning striking twice here.
Hey, maybe that might be it. If so, I owe that Henry Thomas kid everything because it's that San Antonio connection, man. That's what it
Yeah.
is. I see your shirt right now, Ted. What is it? I see the Alamo a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All Star
All-Star
Weekend was that?
Weekend. Yeah, this was well, so this is a kind of a new take on the 90s, what, 96,
Yeah,
right, Dave?
I saw the
All-Star
teal.
Weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. That was the like only All-Star game that we've ever had. I don't know why they haven't come back yet, but they really need to because I missed it. It was like amazing. So they really need to have another All-Star game in San Antonio.
yeah. Did y'all grow up in San Antonio as well, or did y'all move in from other places?
Born
Born
and
and
raised
raised. All
myself,
right.
and then Dave, he lives in Seguin, which is right outside, but
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's pretty much the same, right, Dave?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yes.
So look at
What
us.
what do you remember about San Antonio? Like, what were your favorite spots to eat? Like, what did you do for fun? I know
Oh.
that locals kind of all have their own way of like going about and doing things.
Yeah, we've all got our own spots. I will say the place that we went to, me and my family, was always Guajillos, like on 410. The tacos, dude. It's just they call it, what is it? The shortcut to Mexico? Like they're right, dude.
Yeah,
They got great tacos. Like I love that place.
you're
Where would I
right.
hang out though? I was like in elementary school. I was up in like the north side of town, so there was there's a lot of parks around there, like Hollywood Park. Like that's honestly just what me and my brothers did. I grew up with two brothers. I'm the middle child, so on the weekends, our mom would take us to the park with like the other kids that we knew from the moms, like being friends. We would just go to parks like and hang out. When they opened that Microsoft store at La Cantera, I remember that was pretty
Yeah.
huge because I was big into like computers. So when they opened that, they had like some like launch event for a game a long time ago called Titanfall. We went to that. Like it's all just fun stuff in San Antonio. And oh, we would also go to that the Green River a little bit outside of town, or like the Guadalupe
Ah, yeah.
River. Like bunch of fun stuff to do.
That's awesome, man. Do you ever come back? Do you ever like take trips back? I know you're out in California right now, right? It makes more
Yeah,
sense
I
to be honest
I,
with
I
you.
live in San Antonio and like California, kind of, but I would say my house is in San Antonio. I've just been out here in California because we've been doing press for Ninja Turtles. So
Gotcha, gotcha.
yeah, yeah.
You've done like a ton of voiceover work, and you've been doing it for quite some time. Is it just kind of post pandemic that you've been doing voiceover work, or did you kind of start before the pandemic hit? And then have you seen changes in the voiceover industry? Because a lot of people that I've talked to who've been doing voiceover work have said like it's evolved and it's just not the same whatsoever
Yeah, yeah,
after the
that's an
pandemic
interesting
hit.
question. You're 100% right on that. Like I did voiceover kind of starting out. It was a voiceover role that brought me out to Los Angeles because I
Mm,
was doing acting from San Antonio, and at that point I was just like, I did a commercial for the Spurs. Actually, that was really really fun. That was a highlight. But yeah,
love
once
it.
I got connected to my agents out in LA, they were like, you booked this voiceover show, but we need you to record in Los Angeles. So that's what brought me out. So yeah, my career has been, I tried everything, but I would say voiceover has been kind of a constant, and it's somewhere where I feel very comfortable and somewhere where I've learned a lot just through all the jobs that I've done. And yeah, after the pandemic, it definitely did change. Like at home recordings were becoming more common. When I was shooting that Walking Dead show in Richmond, I had to set up my own thing in an Airbnb, and it was literally just a comforter, kid you not, nailed into the wall of this Airbnb. We didn't even own the place, and we're sorry, but we were
Oops.
just nailing the comforter to the wall just so I could have that like sound dampening. But yeah, everything's at home now. I prefer going to the studio just because it always felt like an event when I was a kid. Like, oh man, I'm so lucky to get out of school, one thing, to go do this and go play pretend and go be a part of this like crazy cool industry. So I,
Yeah.
I like to keep that spirit alive as opposed to just like, I don't know, recording in my computer.
So like I feel like post pandemic there's a lot less collaboration, and I know that actors, especially voiceover artists, they want to kind of feed off energy from each other. And a lot of times now they're just like you mentioned, they're kind of doing everything from their homes, and it's a lot less collaborative, and there's a lot less kind of energy, through the entire process. Are you seeing that as well? Did that happen with TMNT? Did you get to kind of do, read lines next to your other peers, or was it all just you by yourself?
Yeah, we were actually super lucky with Ninja Turtles because Seth Rogen and our director Jeff Rowe made it a big point to record the turtles in the same room. So we actually did get to record in the same studio, and I think it shows in the movie.
I
Like, there's a
love
lot of
it.
great improvised
Yeah.
moments. It's a blessing, dude. I don't know how the movie would have turned out without it. Like, it is so important to have that because they're brothers. These turtles have known each other their whole lives. That connection is very like important to the way that the film would work. So the fact that we were able to do that was great because yeah, after the pandemic, everybody's just calling in from Zoom. Like even if you were doing a solo record for voiceover, you would have the producers, the director, the engineer all on the other side of the booth. But yeah, for Ninja Turtles, we were blessed to be able to record it ensemble, which it did wonders for the movie, man. There's so much fun stuff that's in there that wouldn't have happened if we weren't in the same room working together because it's just off the cuff and there's a lot of improvised moments.
I know you can't speak about any, details regarding the story or anything, so I'm not going to mention that. When this photo kind of first came out, and this is kind of one of the later ones, I think, it was so unique because it's like the turtles that I grew up with. It sort of gets back a little closer to that '90s animated series. I don't know if you got a chance to catch that growing up or anything like that, but it also they're they're still their own. Like Seth still made them their own by giving them little things here and there. But it's just so cool that it's a different art style and yet there's something really nostalgic about it because those
Yeah.
90s animated shows, like the Ninja Turtles one, I had all the VHS tapes. I know you don't know what VHS tapes are, but I
I
had
know what a
all
VHS tape, dude, is. Come on, don't do that to me.
but I
I've
had
never
all the
rewinded one
VHS
myself,
tapes,
but I know
man.
what they are. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that
so cool, but I
you
love
can
it. I love the
definitely
art
see.
design.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, the animators did an incredible job. They were so like just they're geniuses. Like some of the mutant designs in the movie look insane. They're some of my favorite like looking things in a movie I've ever seen, and that's where the passion for what came before comes in. Because what you were
Yeah.
saying of like how the turtles have a little bit of that '90s flair, I remember that was something that came later. I'd been working on the project for like 2 years. I think I started in 2021, and
Wow.
from that point forward, they figure out the characters. They're doing concept art, and I remember originally some of like the accents on their arms or like knee pads or something. They were more like just neutral bandage colors, but then everybody thought back to the '90s and how everything was color coded, and they gave them the belt buckles with the letters on them. Like they wanted to keep the spirit alive of what people love these turtles so much for, but also going forward and doing something new because this is the first time the turtles are played by real teenagers. Me and my fellow
So
castmates were
true.
the first teenage turtles. I can't believe it's taken so long. It's in the title. It's the first word of the title.
Let's try that again, but with ninja stars.
You had mentioned the design for some of the other mutants. We got this photo right here. It's a little blurry,
Yeah.
but they're just so wild and I love it. And I was thinking to myself like there's before we saw the second trailer, I was thinking to myself, we've seen so many Ninja Turtle movies. Like how are they going to show us something that we haven't seen before? That's how you do it. You throw in like 20 villains and it's just like, all right, my excitement level's like way up now. Let's do this. I want to see it.
Yeah, it looks sick. I mean, I'm excited for everybody to see what we've got cooking. I finally was able to watch the movie, I think 2 weeks ago. I saw an unfinished cut, and it's incredible for Turtles fans, for people just trying to get into this franchise. It's like it's a ramp point so that, new fans can come into this and go back and look at the other stuff. And the fans that have been following it ever since, the original comics, they're going to find things that they're going to love about the movie as well. So I think we did a great job. I personally, as a person in the movie, I don't know if you count that opinion, think it's a good movie. So take from that what you will. Yeah,
What kind of folks, right? Everybody at home will
for
count
sure.
it.
Yeah,
Awesome.
everybody counts that. Yeah.
Our whole lives for this.
Oh my God!
Oh my, I'm gonna be sick.
Leo, what happened? Is Donnie bleeding?
It was an accident. Mikey, watch out!
But yeah, I was looking at the cast list. The cast is just massive with a ton of people we know. Um, I was wondering, have you met everyone in the cast?
I
Or
have not met everybody.
okay.
I will say Seth was, a producer as well as a writer on the film, so he was there for most of the sessions. I was telling Ted that we did ensemble recording, so it was me and all of the turtles in one studio doing it. So
Right.
Seth was there, and our director Jeff was there. But as for the other cast members, I've met Ice Cube. which was sick. He's so cool. My mom has a picture with him. It's the funniest thing in the world.
That's
He's so
amazing.
nice. He's great. He's great. So Seth, Ice Cube. I did a session with Rose Byrne. She
Oh,
plays
nice.
Leatherhead in the movie. She's the alligator crocodile character.
Yeah.
And then
I had that action figure when I was a kid.
yeah, see, so that's honestly that's the angle that Seth was saying he took. He was really inspired by the toys more than anything,
Mhm.
and that's what kind of influenced the mutant designs and stuff that you see in the movie. Just because the toys were so sick. So yeah, I haven't met everybody. I'm really hoping I get to meet Paul Rudd and like John Cena, Jackie Chan too. Jackie
my
Chan as
God.
Splinter is just such blessed casting. He's
Yeah.
so funny in the movie. It's great.
He's so
So yeah,
good.
I'm excited to meet everybody else.
Were you
Nice.
happy to get Leo? Was that something that you wanted?
Was I happy to play the leader of the Ninja
Were you
Turtles? Dude,
were you
are
hoping
kidding
for
me?
somebody else, or was that
You know,
like the one you
it's-
wanted?
It's interesting. I actually auditioned for Donatello first. That was the first,
Ah.
script that I got was for the character Donatello. And just from that, I was like, yes, I love Donatello. That guy's the best. And then I did like a chemistry read, and they were like, okay, so we like what you did, but we want you to try for Leonardo. And I was like, dude, upgrade? Are you kidding me? Leonardo's the blue one? Like, he's the leader. Blue's my favorite color. It's just like
Oh,
everything
sweet.
worked out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Nice.
I'm glad I was able to be a part of something like this because more than anything, I was just excited to see like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on an audition, and with Seth Rogen attached as well. I love Superbad. That movie's hilarious. Like ever since the first little email I got, I was like, I have got to be in this. I don't know what form it's going to take, but I've got to do it. I was in Richmond when I got the audition, so I was talking to my Walking Dead castmates, and they're like, "Yeah, you got to go 100% on that. Like you have to try your hardest again in that movie." And I did, and now I'm the blue one. So it feels good to be blue. I'll say that.
That's awesome.
It's awesome, man. What was the auditioning process like? Because again, some voiceover actors are saying that even the audition process has gotten a lot less formal. Like directors
Hmm.
are less likely to kind of give you tips or give you sort of feedback that kind of can help your audition process.
I will say the biggest thing I've noticed in the changes with auditions during the pandemic was everything went to self tapes. It used to be a thing where
Wow.
I would, go into a casting office and, my mom would drive me there and it would be this whole thing. We'd be stuck in traffic for like 5 hours just to do a 5-minute audition. But now everything is self taped. So I would say that was more so for the live action stuff like on camera acting, films, TV.
Sure.
But for Ninja Turtles, for this one, what was interesting was that it was an on camera audition for a voiceover project. So I guess
Wow.
they did that to see the personalities of the kids, and I think it worked out because it invites you to get more physical with the character, and that's really what they're looking for, is who embodies this turtle mutant person the best. So they had us do on camera stuff, but they made us do 30 seconds of dancing. And I remember while I was doing that, I was just thinking like, dude, they are never going to use this. This is just so that the casting associate has a laugh to themselves while they're reviewing tapes. There's no reason why they would need me to dance. There's no mocap. It's all animated. Why are you doing this? Like, but I did it. I busted a move and I got the role. So I guess
I love
Whatever
it.
you did worked.
They want to see how devoted you are to the
they
process.
wanted to see if I was
That's what
down,
it is.
basically.
Yeah,
They were like, are you
exactly.
down? And I was down, dude. That's what it was.
How bad do you want this role? Show us
Yeah,
right now.
Are you gonna do the Macarena for the Ninja Turtle boy? Like, yeah, that's what it was.
That is so cool. That is so cool. Let's talk about your fandom for the Spurs. Let's talk about that a
Yes.
little bit.
Yeah.
Because before we started, you got all high. We got the number one pick. So like, where were you when they drew the number one ping pong ball, and like how crazy did you get or your family when that happened?
So I'm the only Spurs fan in my family. It is a
Wow.
desolate road for me. My dad lives in San Antonio. He's a Spurs hater. Can you believe it?
What?
He
Cool.
does not
Oh,
like the
wow.
Spurs. He denies that
Laker
we have a
fan?
dynasty. Yeah, he's a Lakers like, oh yeah, you
Ugh.
like the Lakers. Cool. So does everybody else. Oh my God. He lives in San Antonio. Whatever. That's a whole different thing. Let's focus on the love for the Spurs. I wasn't actually
There
there
you go.
watching the draft. I think I was working, But I remember checking my phone, and dude, I've heard of Wembanyama. Like he was this prospect from high school. He's like a monster, dude. Look at him. He's like going to be the next
Absolutely.
best thing. So I've been hearing about this kid, and I was like, wow, that's going to be cool. And then as draft day got closer, there was rumblings like, hey, the Spurs, we might get first draft pick. It might happen, whatever. But it wasn't until I actually saw him with the Spurs cap on that I was like, dude, we just signed like the best guy. And there's a lot of pressure on him. I mean,
Sure.
NBA is posting stuff about him like every day. They're obviously hyping him up as like a new
Oh,
rookie.
yeah.
But I think he's going to perform. The one thing is I bet those tickets prices are going to go way up because we got Wemby now. So if he dominates in his first season, like the Spurs are going to go up, man. That's what I'm saying. But even our team before that, like Jeremy Sohan is one of my favorite players we've had recently. Like
Nice.
I'm excited to
good.
see them build up a new like big three. Like I was a fan of the era of Manu and Tony Parker and Tim Duncan. And if we get our new Tim Duncan here with Wemby, like it's going to be sick for the city. It's going to be sick for the fans. Like I'm excited.
I love it. I love it. Did you have a favorite Spur before this? Who was your favorite Spur?
I told you I did a commercial for the Spurs. I did like
You did?
promotion
Yeah.
for those seasons when they went back to back with the Heat, which was the best time
The
to be
best.
involved with the Spurs because they didn't pay me money for it. It was non-SAG. This is fine. There wasn't a union. I wasn't union. They didn't pay me money for it. I was 10 also. They gave me tickets to Game 4 of the finals one year.
Oh, that's
And
payment right
That's
there.
way better than money. I was like, yes, dude. So yeah, being involved with them during that run was
Oh, wow.
awesome. But favorite Spur, I mean, I've always liked Manu because he's a fellow Latino guy. He's from Argentina, so I kind of identify with that. But Tim Duncan, I have a plush of Tim Duncan in my house right now. I have a little plush toy. I sat it on the dashboard of my car. That's where it is. I should have brought it down here.
I love it.
I don't want. Yeah, I'll go
love
get
it.
it. I'll be right back.
Go for it. Go for it. Go get it.
I'm back with my toy. I brought my toy, guys. Oh, you got the hat. All right, we all went to go grab our swag. That's what we went to go do.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. So this is my Tim Duncan. Check him out.
I've never seen that. Wow.
It was the last one at the Spurs fan store in La Cantera. I was just there with my friend randomly one day,
cool.
and we
Yeah.
were just shopping around, just at the mall, hanging out. And then I saw this, and I was like, I need to get that, and I put it on the dashboard of my car, so he would just sit right there while I was driving. And that's my Tim Duncan. His nose is a little weird though. You can see it's kind of like my
That
friends
is
would make
weird.
fun of him, but yeah,
He's
I would
got-
probably say Tim Duncan.
He's got sunscreen on. That's what he's doing.
Exactly.
right
Yeah,
there.
he's doing an outdoor series. That's what it is. But yeah, Tim
Dave-
Duncan's probably my favorite player.
Dave, what did you have?
So I have a coaster that sits next to me. It's from the 2014 championship.
Yeah, dude.
And I
That
have
14,
a,
15, like.
I went to the game in the 2016 season, and they gave everyone championship rings.
What? Oh, that's so
So-
sick.
Yeah, and I bought this mini-sized trophy. I think for $80 at the NBA shop, and it looks
Oh,
just
that's
like the
so
championship
fun.
trophy. It's got all the
Yeah.
dates too of all the championships, 5X.
Yeah,
So,
dude. That was an incredible time to be a Spurs fan. Oh my god.
It was wild. It was both the best and almost the worst time because 2013 was like
Heartbreaking.
everybody
But
was
the
quiet.
fact that we came back. Oh man.
Came back
what a
with a
series, yeah.
vengeance. I didn't, nothing mattered after that. So
Exactly.
my little claim to fame was that I was at game 6 and 7 against Detroit.
Oh man. Which year?
That was
was-
2003? Five?
Okay, gotcha.
5. There you go. Yeah, 2005, game 6, game 7. Honestly, never been to a more intense back-to-back games like ever in my life, and I don't think I ever will again, just because that Detroit series was like back and forth. We were murdering them one game, they murder us one game. Like nothing made any sense,
Mhm.
and we had no idea how that was going to swing. And then I also attended the game 5 in 2014, just the final game, and that was kind of by just pure luck, but it was like just the best.
It's so sick because you get the big three, but then we also
So,
had like
yeah.
Kawhi Leonard out there, dude. Like he's become such a star, and just the fact that he had his time with the Spurs, like he's so special to me, man. I love Kawhi as well. He's the best.
Yeah, I do too. He's always gonna have, always gonna have respect for the guy, and I wish things would have turned out different. I still don't know what went wrong, but
Yeah,
we
But
went
you
out
know,
there and we tore it up. So that's all.
Not
that matters, I
every
guess.
player we sign is going to be like the 20-year legacy that Tim Duncan has. I don't know if that's what we're getting with Wemby, but if it is, like to build a team around him, like that would be crazy. So
Yeah.
we'll see what's going on. We'll see what's happening.
Yeah, it's so exciting over here. I wish, the next time you get to San Antonio, you can just feel like just the anticipation and then
I saw
everybody's
they
just like
like
talking
they
and stuff.
greeted him at the airport. Like they were just on the tarmac.
This
David, were
guy
you
did.
there? Were you
David
there?
was there.
I wasn't there. My buddy on our other podcast,
Oh,
Spurs
I
Oh,
thought you
Stuff,
were
okay.
was
with him.
there, and he was posting on it. We went to the draft party together, and we got to
Mhm.
like be on ESPN when they did the live crowd reaction.
Oh, that's so fun.
And yeah, Ray was there, and he greeted him like in like 100-degree heat, and he came up and he signed some stuff, some jerseys. He hugged the Coyote for the first time. Someone handed him a bag of tacos for the first
Dude,
time.
we're so excited to have him, man. It's gonna be so fun.
Yeah,
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know. Do you know Taro?
Taro? No.
Taro is the biggest Spurs fan from Japan. It's honestly like why he's so famous in this town. And I don't know what he does for a living, but he's actually in Vegas right now because that's how big of a Spurs fan he is. He's gonna go check out Wemby and his like
At those the
official
summer series
first
games, right?
summer series game. Yeah,
Oh, that's so fun.
yeah. This guy's everywhere. Taro. We had a drink. I had a drink with him. Back in the middle of the season. I think it was actually the Alamo Dome game. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, dude, I wanted to get tickets for that, but I think I had to fly back to LA for something. That was
Yeah,
gonna
and
be
that
so fun.
was
Did they filled it out, right?
yeah.
filled it out. What was the final 78,000, Dave? What was it?
I'm not quite sure. Usually for football games, I think the max capacity when they do stuff like Alamo Bowl is like 64,000 plus.
Yeah,
Oh,
they were
we
trying to
killed
break the
that though.
record. I remember.
We killed that though because they had standing room only seats on the floor, like
Yeah,
100
dude,
yards away
standing.
from the court. And I'm like, why would you do that?
Oh
But
wow.
people just
They're
wanted
just
to be
trying to fill
there.
the stadium
That's
so that they
all it
can get
was.
that bragging rights. Yeah, like we had the most people at an NBA game.
It
Yeah.
was wild. It was so cool. Honestly, the best part about that entire event was that they opened the game with the original like 90s "Y'all ready for this?" Theme song.
That's so
And
fun.
oh my god, this rush of like nostalgia, like my childhood just came pouring out of me. And I'm just like, "Oh my god, I'm a kid again." And it's just so cool, man, cuz I went to games back in the Alamo Dome and even before that, Hemisphere Arena, when it was
Yeah,
like considered the loudest arena on the planet
I
or the
know. It's
US or
crazy.
whatever.
You see this passion that we have for this team, and my dad walks through the same town just like fuck the Spurs, dude. He's like,
That
gosh, I can't believe him.
I'm
So
like
yeah,
only a Lakers fan could kind of hold that for
Yeah,
so long. Yeah.
yeah, I can't believe it.
yeah, I looked it up. So the New York Times says 68,323 people at that record-breaking game at the Alamo Dome for the Spurs against the
Man.
Warriors.
So cool, so cool. Are you making any plans to kind of go to any games during the season? Maybe even out in LA?
I would love to. I don't have any plans right now. I've got a busy summer coming up. You know, we've got the premiere for the Ninja Turtles coming up. We already did the press junket for that, but we still got more like events lined up. And yeah, just on top of that, there's a whole other thing that I can't really talk about, but you
Awesome.
know, it's gonna be pretty busy. So I hope I get to see him at some
But
point.
just as big, right?
Yes, yeah.
Ooh, okay. Let's talk about red carpet plans. You're Leo, leader of the Ninja Turtles. What are you gonna wear on the red carpet? You got to do something like either blue
I've
or
been through
like
this. I'm like, I'm either just gonna go in like one of those like onesies, you know, those pajamas with the hoods that have Leonardo on it. I was either gonna do that or I was just gonna go to like Target and like grab every piece, like every t-shirt, every sneaker, like every little thing and just cover myself head to toe in merch.
I love it.
Or
I love it.
I don't know. It's definitely got to be blue. I definitely have to incorporate some blue in there. I don't know if I want to go like, you know, Blue Man Group or just like little accents, but I'll show up for the color. Yeah.
All you and the other guys, y'all should just wear like suits, but color coordinated to like your character, right? So
I'm down to do the headbands, dude. I'm down to get like the
Oh,
masks
please.
going. Like that'd be so fun. Yeah.
that'd be amazing. Wear those backpacks that look like turtle shells, like down
Yeah.
the red
I'm wondering if I
carpet.
should just go in a full turtle suit at this point. I should just source one of the original like Jim Henson's Creature Shop ones and just
Oh.
like show up in that. That's
So
what I'm gonna do.
amazing.
That's
Did
my
you
plan.
have a favorite of the original? I count the third. I don't know why people don't like the third. I still like the third. So, do you have
Mhm.
a favorite out of those three? They're so different. There's something to love about each and every one of them.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is, and I just went through this whole press junket. you can understand how bad I felt the whole time telling people I've never seen any Ninja Turtles thing before.
To this day?
To this day. And
Wow.
people
All right,
were
I'm
asking
gonna
me
pull
like,
it up
hey,
right now.
yeah, no, I know the movies. I know, Vanilla Ice had that ninja rap. Like I'm acquainted with the Turtles. I just haven't sat down and watched any of their many films or movie or TV shows. But people were asking me like, so what? Like you're gonna be a Ninja Turtle. You didn't go back and watch what other people did. And my reasoning was always like, the passion that the writers had for these characters just showed from the first little like character description I got in the audition. Like they understand Leo to a T. So everything was there on the page, and it was also something new, the first time teens are playing it. So I wasn't sure if anything from the past was going to be able to enhance anything that we were doing right now. But now that it's done, I definitely want to go back and watch those suit movies because they always look so sick. Like they look fun.
Honestly, like we don't talk enough about the 90s version because like you had talked about, this is born from a comic book series, and that one was like absolutely a comic book movie. It just had so much emotion put into it. It was raw, it was gritty, more gritty than like you would expect a Ninja Turtles movie to be. And
Mhm.
there's just so much like story arc and character development in that movie. And it was maybe something that was borderline not okay for a child.
Which
We
is
were
the
talking,
best. That's
but it
that's
is. It
awesome.
really is.
Yeah.
It really is the best. Yeah, because like even to you think about it, and you'll figure this out when you watch it. But like they're talking about street gangs, filled with kids and stuff, and there's a lot of lessons to kind of learn from that. But it's a
Mhm.
very kind of maybe a real thing at the time, and especially with homeless teenagers and stuff like that, and it's touching on all these very hardcore subjects, and it doesn't kind of hit you over the head with those things, but those themes are there. It's very
Yeah.
serious topics, across the board. And
It's great working on a franchise like that because it kind of does walk the line. Like they are
yes,
ridiculous turtle creatures that are fighting crime in New York City, but at the same time, it's like they're fighting crime. Like it's the dark undertones of the city as well that carry the first suit movie. Because I hear that they get more kiddie as they went on because the execs were like, we can't have them, judo flipping and slicing people in two or whatever. So yeah, the first one, I'm curious to watch that one the most.
yeah, you're gonna see a very drastic change in tone and comedy as you go through
When
it.
I
So
when I
yeah,
first got the audition and I saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I was like, is it gonna be suits? I was like, are we gonna go back to the suits? That'd be so fun.
yeah, we can't wait, man. And now you're like a month away from it. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome to kind of see the new trailers that come out, see the red carpet event that happens and all that stuff. And we're so happy for you, man.
Thank you,
Congrats to
man. I
you.
appreciate it.
um you know uh keep trekking on. We can't wait to hear what new things you're doing, and by all means, man, let us know what you think after you go back and you get a chance to watch those live action movies, and just we'll hear your thoughts on it. That'd be awesome.
100%. Yeah. Next time I'm in town, we'll all get together. It'll be fun.
I told David I'm gonna give you his season tickets to the Spurs game, that way you can go
Oh,
catch a
great.
game.
Awesome. Perfect. That'll be beautiful. Thank you, David. Thank you. I
David's
appreciate
got
it.
6 seats. He's like 5, 6
David,
rows from
you're
the
the
court.
man. You're the man, David. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Awesome. David, any final questions for Nick?
Not really a question, maybe a comment. You feel like you could be what you played, what you portrayed as Leonardo in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I like your attitude, your just overall who you are, and I'm really happy that you're from San Antonio as well. So
Thank you,
it
man.
was
Yeah,
great meeting
it's
you.
it's so cool to talk with people from the same town. Like it's
Yeah.
you got that connection, and of course the Spurs and all the things that we could bond over. Like, it's great. So thank you guys for having me. This was a real pleasure.
Absolutely, man. And I wish you had like breakfast tacos that were high quality like they are in San Antonio. I don't think you kind of get a lot of those out there. More burritos,
Yeah.
right? In California?
Yeah, they have this thing called the California burrito here, which is like a steak burrito. You get the rice, the beans, you get sour cream, and then they put French fries and guacamole in it. And that's the only thing I've had here that was like, it's different from the Tex-Mex I get back home, but it's like they know what they're doing over here.
You said
'Cause we-
French fries, right?
Yeah, French fries are in the burrito. It's crazy. It's a whole different thing, but it's like the first thing I had over here, because I was always like, dude, Mexican food is way better in San Antonio. I can get way better stuff. I had a California burrito, and I was like, okay, so there is some competition here. That's why it's such a rivalry between SoCal Mexican food and the Tex-Mex. So I understood both sides, but I'm still Team San Antonio. Like, give me that Tex-Mex. That's what I need.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, man, for joining us. We cannot wait for the movie. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem drops just a little bit over a month, I believe, in August. And we can't wait to see it. Congrats to you, man. Congrats to all your success. And you're killing it, man. You're having one hell of a year, and we can't wait to see what's coming up next for you, man.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Good luck to everything else that's going on with you guys.
Man. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you next time.
Peace out.